Speaker.
Jami-Lee Ross.
Mr Speaker, this is the first time I've spoken in this chamber since the election, so can I take the opportunity to congratulate firstly the presiding officers, especially yourself, on your elevation to Deputy Speaker, Mr Speaker, and also I'd like to congratulate all members of the House on both their re-election or their initial election, if it is their first time. Thank you. And all that hard campaigning you did for me, Mr Guy, was much appreciated. Thank you. Can I say, Mr Speaker, I have enjoyed the contributions from new members so far, but I am looking forward to the real stars of the class of 2008 taking their first stand in the House on Thursday. I certainly look forward to that. Mr Speaker, it's good to see that the Road User Charges Bill is finally here for its third reading. Can I say thank you to the Ministers of Transport, firstly the Honourable Stephen Joyce and the Honourable Jerry Brownlee now for getting this bill this far in the House. It is a good bill, and it's one that I hope a large number of members in the Parliament will be supporting. And credit where credit's due, I think it's worthwhile acknowledging that the Labour Party actually initiated the Road User Charges review back in, I think, 2008, which ended up culminating in this bill, where we're seeing these quite significant changes to the Road User Charges system. As has been pointed out by members in this debate before it was adjourned last week, and also by the new member, Julianne Genter, earlier, this is about making the road user charges system more simplified. It's about making it easy to understand, and it's about making it easier for the government to enforce. It's important that when you have taxes in place, that when you have penalties for not paying those taxes, that it's easy to enforce the paying of those taxes as well. And I'm pleased to see that just about every party in the House, I understand, is supporting this bill, and we heard from the Labour Party last week about their views on the bill, which they are supporting the bill, but they indicated some areas of concern. Mr Speaker, I don't tend to agree with the areas of concern that the members from the Labour Party were raising last week, and I'll take a few moments in a minute to outline why I don't think their views that they were bringing to the House really had much credibility. Mr Speaker, this bill is about making it easier for business. It's about making it easier for New Zealanders to run their road transport using the road user charges system. The previous system of nominated weights was incredibly complicated. It led to operators having to estimate how heavy the vehicles were. There are inherent problems in that, and it also meant that the authorities had to work out if there were problems, try and work out what that weight was after the fact. With this new system, we have a road user charges regime where we will know what every vehicle's gross weight is and what their road user charges will be. There's no estimating involved, and it's far simpler. But, Mr Speaker, the Labour Party members last week, I was listening very intently. Darian Fenton and Phil Twyford outlined some concerns. Darian Fenton. I'm sorry, Darian. Darian Fenton and Phil Twyford outlined some concerns that they had, and they were complaining that they didn't feel that the concerns were answered adequately. Well, Mr Speaker, I've done a bit of research this afternoon, and actually just about all of the answers to the concerns are found within the documents that they were concerned about. Mr Speaker, we heard from the opposition members, from two members, that they didn't feel as though there was very much consultation on this bill. Well, I went through to page 178 of 189, and it's buried quite deep in the departmental report, but it is in there. This bill went through 4 phases of consultation by the Ministry of Transport before we got to the bill here. They had a consultation in September to November 2009. They had consultation in early 2010. They had another consultation a bit later in 2010, and then in October and December 2010 they had further consultation. That's 4 consultation phases. There was also the Road User Charges Review that Honourable Annie King initiated when she was the Minister of Transport. That went through consultation with the industry. And on top of that, we had the Select Committee consultation. Now that's 6 phases of consultation on the work which led up to this bill. Now, Mr Speaker, I don't think anyone can stand up in this House and say there hasn't been consultation with the industry when this issue has been through 6 phases of consultation, and then there'll be further consultation on top of that when it comes to the setting of the charges through regulations, which will probably be taking place later this year. We also heard complaints that the government's doing this nasty thing called regulations. What the government will be doing is setting in place the charges through a secondary phase of legislation. It's not possible to set the charges in this bill, because this bill we're hoping will stand for many years. And obviously the charges have to change from time to time, and I know Labour members know about changing road user charges rates. 2008 was quite a hectic time for them when it came to road user charges, but you simply can't set those charges in the primary bill. It would be ridiculous to try and do that. And so setting those charges through regulations isn't an unusual step. It's quite a logical step. But if you're asking yourself, why is the government doing this through regulations, and you're concerned that the government's using this through regulations, and you're hearing that from the Labour members, you would think that Labour members are somehow opposed to the use of regulations. Well, Mr. Speaker, I was a little bit busy this afternoon, so I did a little bit more research. In the last term of the Labour government, 1,263 regulations were passed by the last Labour government. So I take offence a little bit when I hear Labour members standing up saying they don't like the use of regulations. In the last term of the Labour government, they passed 1,263 regulations. So please stop whacking us over the head about the use of regulations. It's a reasonable use of regulations to set the charges through that. The third topic I want to discuss is about who's going to be winners, who are going to be losers. Now, we heard from Darian Fenton and Phil Twyford about the Motor Caravan Association. The Motor Caravan Association raised some points. They're concerned about what the charges will be. I think it's worthwhile pointing out, Mr. Speaker, that the charges have not been set yet. They will be set later on, going through consultation first. But they raised the plight of the Motor Caravan Association. The Motor Caravan Association, in their submission, were under the impression that charges were going to go up astronomically. It's important to remember with this that this change will be revenue neutral for the government. There will be some people who get small increases, there will be people who get some small decreases, but there is no expectation that overall revenue will increase. This is about changing the system, not increasing the revenue. But the Motor Caravan Association unfortunately used some old figures in their submission. They were using existing road user charges figures, which just won't apply to the new regime, and they believe that their charges would be going up. They gave an example of a motor caravan, which is 19,000 kilograms, 19 tonnes, a Type 5 motor vehicle. They believe that charge would go up by 270%. Now, I can quite understand that 270% sounds like it's a lot, but that's simply not the case. Again, looking at the departmental report, the answer was right there for the Labour members. The Labour members didn't quite see this, but the departmental report itself outlines an answer to the Motor Caravan Association. Rather than the road user charge going up to $451 that the Motor Caravan Association believed it would actually only go up to about $246. It's just an estimate at the moment, but $246 versus $451 is quite a difference, and nowhere near the increase that the Labour members were telling this House last week that road user charges would be going up by. Mr. Speaker, this is a good bill. This is a bill that will make it easier for the industry. It's a bill that will make it easier for the government, and it's a bill that will remove a whole lot of complexity from the road user charges system. I'm glad the Labour members are supporting it. I'm glad other members in the House are supporting it, but I just had to answer some of those concerns we heard from the opposition, because they're just simply not concerns that are relevant to this debate, because the research wasn't done and the answers are right there in the departmental report. I look forward to this bill being passed by the House tonight.
Brendan Horan.
I rise on behalf of New Zealand.